Hello and welcome to Skydival TV, and today let's talk about what's the best controller you can get for your gaming PC. Now yes, at one point I was a console gamer.
Oh my goodness. Where did everybody go?
I'm sure we all were at one point, so I feel like I do have some legitimate input as to what I think is going to be the best controller to satisfy all of your PC gaming needs. If it's those late night Dark Souls sessions, or if you're grinding it out on that racing game, or if you're gonna pick up that old 2D indie platformer that you want to play, but you have to use a controller for it because it'll work best for that. And also, I want you guys to experience the infamous quadruple D method for testing out each of these controllers to see what is the best for your PC games. And also at the end of this video, I will be announcing the winners for the G-Skill keyboard and mouse giveaway, so stay tuned to the very end of the video. So today I'll be presenting to you guys 4 different gaming PC controllers, and we'll be using the quadruple D method to see which one is going to be the best for certain genres of PC gaming. So first up, we have the elusive $50 Steam controller available from steam.com, and pretty much all this controller is a wired and wireless controller specifically designed for PC console play but on PC Steam titles. Now, some unique features of this include dual thumb trackpads that give vibrations, along with a joystick, haptic feedback, X, Y, and 8 buttons, and a really cool ringtone every time you boot it up. And aside from the wire connection you can use with a USB cable, the only way to connect the Steam controller to your PC is with the official Steam controller dongle, which will cost you an extra $10. Next up, we have the EasySMX custom Xbox 360 controller, aka that one Xbox 360 controller that you see pop up all the time on Amazon.com. But you can buy this right now with its own wireless Bluetooth receiver for only $25. And because of that really attractive price point, this makes it the cheapest controller on this list. And for the most part, this is pretty much a regular Xbox 360 controller, but slightly modified. As you can see, the EasySMX controller has a custom design different from the standard 360 controller, and I can personally vouch that this does not feel like the regular 360 controller. The triggers are a little bit different, and the thumbsticks feel a little bit more smooth than a regular 360 controller. But regardless, unlike working with a regular Xbox 360 adapter, this actually works with a 2.4 GHz Bluetooth receiver. Third on this list, we have the edgy PS4 DualShock 4 controller. Now this is kind of a unique controller because there isn't any official supported software by Sony to have this controller work on your PC, which means is that if you try to plug this controller right into your PC, it's not going to work. You're going to need some custom software for it to work. So one downside to this is that this isn't a true plug and play experience controller working with PC. However, that custom software has both its ups and downs. But like I said, this controller can work on your PC all thanks to the custom software DS4. And because of DS4, the DualShock 4 can be customized to your desire to pretty much any specification you want, which is pretty awesome for being free software. You can mess with the controller colors, rumble intensity, button mapping, and you can basically pimp out this controller to your ultimate preference. And with that, you can use the DualShock 4 controller either through a wired USB connection or a $10 Amazon USB Bluetooth adapter, or for the most part, any Bluetooth adapter. And lastly, we have the divine Xbox One controller that you can get with the controller itself for either $45 or get the combination kit with the wireless 10 Windows 10 dongle for $62. This is going to have the exact same functionality as the Xbox 360 controller, but the main difference between the two is that this is going to cost you more to buy, but it's going to have much better build quality and a lot more refinement over any regular custom Amazon 360 controller. And also, one downside is that, like the Steam controller, the Xbox One can only work wirelessly on a PC through the official Xbox One wireless PC adapter, unless you just want to use a regular wire connection over a USB cable. So which of these controllers is the best for PC? Well, for that, we're going to use the quadruple D testing method. And basically all that is that we're going to throw 4 different titles at all 4 of these controllers to give the most testing variety possible across different PC game genres. And if you're wondering what those games are, well, the first game we're going to be testing is Dead Cells, an action 2D platformer, Dark Souls, an action RPG, Dirt Rally, a racing game, and the final D, Dishonored, an acclaimed first-person stealth game, and all these are part of the quadruple D testing method. But with that out of the way, let's talk about my 2 cents on each gaming controller and see which one worked the best for each type of game. So for D number 1, Dead Cells, the action 2D platformer, I felt like all gaming controllers pretty much did excellent on that game, since the game primarily stresses the mobility and reaction time of your hands with the joystick and buttons on your controller. However, I will note that the controller that had the best feeling D-pad for these sort of 2D platformers were by far the DualShock 4. The Xbox controllers had a mushy feeling D-pad, and the Steam's controller's D-pad was alright but felt kinda unnatural to use. Moving on to D number 2, which is Dark Souls, the action RPG game. For that game, I found all controllers to work well, but surprisingly enough, I felt the Steam controller actually worked best for this game. That's because unlike the other 3 controllers on this list, there is that onboard mouse functionality that the Steam controller presents, which is nice for quickly switching in and out of items on your Dark Souls character, as if you were operating with a regular mouse. And while this game isn't on the list, but I want to highly mention it, but playing full out mouse and keyboard games like Civilization 6 and Europa Universalis on your couch is a bliss with the Steam controller because of that mouse functionality that the Steam controller presents. Now for D number 3, Dirt Rally, our racing game. For this game, I felt that the Xbox controllers hand down had this gaming category down. Now, more so, I would say that the Xbox One controller felt a little bit better because of its refined quality with that better trigger and liquidy smooth thumbstick. And I'd say the same goes for the EasySMX 360, but like I said, it's not as of the same quality as the Xbox One controller. But regardless, it is half the price of it. I find the thumbsticks and triggers on the PlayStation and Steam controller to be not as comfortable as their Microsoft counterparts for racing games like Dirt Rally and even the upcoming Dirt 4. And for the final D, Dishonored 4, our first-person stealth game. For this title, I felt that hands down, the Xbox One controller felt the best on this game, but that just comes down to personal preference. Like I say, pretty much for all first-person shooter games, pretty much whatever controller that works best for you and like the one that you grew up with is going to work best for any of these first-person games. But at least for me, since I grew up on Xbox heritage and I really like the refined quality of the Xbox One controller, this by far felt the best when it came to those first-person games, as well as the EasySMX controller. But I will say, at least for the Steam controller, even though it worked well in this sort of game, I will say at least for your FPS gaming experience, all that hinges on with the Steam controller is how well optimized the game is for the actual Steam controller. Like for example, Dishonored is a great optimized title for the Steam controller since it works perfectly fine with it. But with a game like BioShock Infinite, where it just gets really intense at times and you just need to activate all these sorts of abilities, the Steam controller just can't really hold up in terms of what buttons and abilities it offers as a controller. So out of all of these games, which controller do you think I recommend the most? Well, that title is gonna have to hands down go to the Xbox One controller. It felt the most refined, best designed, and on top of that, it is still an Xbox controller, so it's gonna have a lot of widespread support on many PC games just from being an Xbox controller. However, its price is a little bit deferring if you want to use it in a wireless setting, since getting the wireless dongle and the controller is $62. But if you're someone who's on a budget, then I would definitely go straight to an Xbox 360 controller like the EasySMX. It's pretty much less than half the price of the Xbox One controller and offers the same functionality. Now, it is in a slightly more basic package that may not be as well designed as the Xbox One, but its price and what it offers, as well as the customizability of it, makes up for it. However, if you're someone who is a hardcore PC gamer, who just sticks it to PC exclusives that rely on a mouse and keyboard, but you want to play those games on the couch, then get a Steam controller. I find that this controller to be heavily underrated and can give some unique gaming experiences that are ahead of its time, but I would say is not in heavy demand right now. And finally, with the DualShock 4 controller, I'd just say if you're a fan of a PlayStation controller, then pretty much get this controller. I mean, you may not be the best suited for an Xbox One or Xbox 360 controller, but regardless, you can still get this controller and get it to work on a PC. But the cool thing I like about it is that the customizability offered with the PS4 software is incredible for being free, and I'd say that the DualShock 4 would actually work best for emulating older games like a PS3 or PS2 game, as well as playing fighting and 2D platformer games that rely a lot on the D-pad. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and all that. And this is the Scatterball TV channel, signing out. But anyways, let's get to the giveaway. So here are the 10 winners for the G-Skill keyboard and mouse combination, and out of these 10 winners, pretty much whoever messages me first at scattervolt@gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube Creator Studio along with your address will win the G-Skill keyboard and mouse combination kit. So pretty much whoever messages me first through Gmail will win.